Hey y'all, we back with another one. We're going to be talking about the disaster that we just went through this past Christmas season, where we had a big storm and a couple of people lost their lives. We were trapped in the house for a minute. We have our friend Diana Foster here, who is an emergency disaster trainer. And we at First Centennial just wanted to invite her here to talk about some things on how to get prepared, so we're not stuck out there like we were this last one. Diana, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate just inviting me on so I can share all the information that I've been learning about so that our community and so that your church family can learn to be more prepared when the next disaster or when something else happens.
So, if I can ask you, what made you get into learning how to get prepared?
You
Like,
know
what made you start it?
You know what? This started a long time ago. I was a single mom and raising two kids. I lived paycheck to paycheck. And so being prepared is not just for disasters. This
Okay.
can be for when you lose your job, you don't have enough money to get you to the next the next paycheck. And I have a story. My son, we were in the house and we ran out of toilet tissue. And I wasn't going to get paid until the next week, right?
Oh,
and
wow.
now I'm feeling like, as a mother, my kids are, we don't have what we need to get through this weekend, the next, couple of days. But I remember that he had some toilet tissue and a box of tissue in his book bag. And so we were able to make it. But I promise you, that moment right there kind of woke me up to say, you know what, never again, never again. I promise you, we are totally stocked up on toilet tissue. It just wasn't 2020. With the COVID situation,
Yeah.
I have always made sure we always had toilet paper. But I also wanted to make sure that if I lost my job or if we just didn't have what we needed, that my family could eat and my family could have what we need to get through those moments. So that's what started me on my preparedness journey.
Okay.
Yep. And since then, I took some trainings. And just wherever I go, I try to share with others what they can do to prepare.
Okay. So how long have you been training individuals, groups on how to be prepared for a disaster?
But about the past 7 years.
Okay.
I've been doing this officially for about 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you would like to talk to us about so that we out there can know what to do and how to prepare for disasters, or just not having our kids say, oh man, we don't got what we need,
Right. You know what? And the question I want to ask everybody is, and the question I think I want you to put in your mind is, are you prepared? Right. And I want to just give you a Bible scripture, Proverbs 27:12. It says, the prudent sees danger, they take refuge, but the simple keep going and they suffer for it. And right now, I want us to become the prudent. I want us to be able to see danger and let's take action. It's time to take action. And I know that it takes somebody to motivate and to be that cheerleader. And that's what I want to do. I want to be that cheerleader. I want to be that motivator to kind of get everybody, to shake everybody, to say, come on, everybody, it's time to take some simple steps so that we can be prepared for whatever may come next, And I just want us to start beginning to think about things that we need to survive to become self-sufficient if your way of living becomes disrupted. Take the blizzard that just happened. That disrupted all of our lives in so many different ways. We lost transportation. Some lost power. There was no way to get food. There was a lot of things that was disrupted. And so I want to start talking about ways that you can help prepare your family, steps you can take to be prepared. Now, I know that we're not going to sit up here and just be totally prepared. So when something else happens, we good, we got this. But there's simple ways to begin to have some things in place so that your family can survive through it. Okay. So let me have my notes here. Okay, so we talked about there's different types of disasters. I want us to think that we talked about the blizzard, something that we know we just went through, weather related. There's disasters such as financial loss. Don't just think of weather, earthquakes, tornadoes. Don't think of that. Think of financial loss. the stuff that we deal with every day, life, right? Government shutdowns, we dealt with that with COVID. Inflation, we're dealing with that right now. Chaos, riots. These are different types of disasters that can affect our lives, okay? So I want us to start to think of that. And the first thing I want us to take notice is water storage. Number one thing is water storage. Most important resource to have. You can go 30 days without food, but the body can only go 3 days without water. Okay, so what I have this water sitting right here, and what I want everybody to just get a pencil, get a pad, start writing things down. But you really need to have a gallon of water per person per day. That's it's recommended to have that. And it's always good to have at least 2 weeks stored in your house. For example, a family of 4, if you have a family of 4, you need 56 gallons of water. And so there's different ways and simple ways to get your water. And then I want to kind of just touch on how you're going to store your water. I have this gallon. Sam's sell this, I think it's 4 gallons of water for under $5. It's every time I go into Sam's, I just grab one. It's $5. I know I have a list and I know it's things I need to get, but I'm just going to grab this. And this is something that we really don't touch our family. We store it. Okay. And if you can put it in a corner. I put mine in my basement. I just want to encourage everybody, get a stand, get a shelf, put your water on a shelf. Don't put it on anything like a cement floor. Water absorbs the bottle, the plastic, it absorbs odors, and it absorbs, bacteria if it's stored for a long time. So rotate your water out. But I encourage everybody to start to buy an extra case of water. Buy an extra 4 gallons of water. My mom, she's older, so she can't carry something like this. So I encourage our older family members, get the 1 gallon of water. It has the handles. So water storage is very important. It's very important to have. I know Buffalo, we don't deal a lot with a boil notice. Have you ever heard of boil notice?
No.
They do it. I've heard Cheektowaga had it in the outskirts. Sometimes the county will put up a notice on the news and say, you know what? The water filtration system is down. It's time to boil your water.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so we haven't had that here in Buffalo, but it's good to prepare for that. You hear about other cities that things happen with water. I remember I had somebody come to me, why do you have all that water? It's always good to have it. You just don't know what can happen with the breakdown of our infrastructure if a disaster takes place. Okay. The second thing to have is food storage.
Well, before we go to the food storage,
Okay.
how often in between should we rotate the water? Like, say like you said,
Right.
you got the Sam's Club, and that's been there for like a year.
About a year. Yeah, it's been here for a year. You know what? I don't have the exact date in front of me, but I do know that, I can go 2 more years, be honest with you. And I know someone asked me about that before. Well, you think it's bad? Well, no, because guess what I will do? I'll take this water and I'll boil it. I will boil it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If I'm not so comfortable of drinking it right out of the container because it's been sitting for so long, we're going to boil that water. And if we don't boil that water, we'll use that water for washing. We'll use that water for other purposes. I'll never get rid of it. Like, even if 10 years go and that water's still sitting there, we're going to use it for something.
Okay.
But I will get that information for you. That's good. That's a good question. I don't have that in front of me.
Okay.
The second thing is food storage. I stress to have at least 2 weeks of food saved up in your home. Make a list of what your family eats most often and start building your food storage around those items. Include non-perishable, things that don't go bad so often. One of the things that we noticed just being on the website for the blizzard of 2022, they had a post area on Facebook, and a lot of people were calling in asking for food. So it just seemed that there was a breakdown. A lot of people did not have food stored in their homes, so that when we were unable to get out, no one was able to have food for their families. So it's important to have that food. And what I encourage you to do and everyone to do is when you go grocery shopping, set aside $10 to $20 from your grocery bill that's just for storage. For example, and you know what I've heard people say, I don't have that much money. My resources are very low. But $10, even $5, if you be intentional about it, you can go to Wegmans and you can get 2 or 3 jars of spaghetti sauce. They're 99 cents a jar. The noodles, it's 99 cents a box. Just take $10 worth or $5 worth of that you do not eat and put it to the side. And here you go. You begin to, every time you go food shopping, slowly but surely you'll begin to store up your food.
Yeah.
Another thing, when I say non-perishable, things that don't go bad. Now, there's ways to store your food so that it doesn't go bad. And I do have some examples right here. I'm not going to get into it because we can go on and on. But I purchased taco shells. Purchased this a few years ago. Now, it can go bad if you sit this on your regular shelf as is. But because I put it in, this is called a Mylar bag. Because I sealed it in a Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber, this will last me a couple years because it stays fresh.
Okay.
So this was something, I had extra money. I went to Sam's. I think a pack of these taco shells was like $3 at Sam's. I grabbed it. And for me to keep it fresh, I threw it into a Mylar bag, and then I could just put it on my shelf. Vacuum sealing. Vacuum sealing is also good to vacuum seal your food, and it keeps it a little bit longer. Flour. Vacuum seal flour. Right now, my daughter and my son-in-law are into baking bread. They don't even go buy bread at the store anymore, and it's so good. I told them, come get some of this flour that I bought up, and because the cost, everything is going up. Everything is going up in price, and so when you start buying things, if you don't use it, you can vacuum seal it and use it for later. Okay. Another thing, hamburger helper. Oh my goodness.
Everybody loves a hamburger helper.
That's another cheap meal. Just buy a few boxes of hamburger helper. Take it out the package so that you can save, room in your closet or in your shelf, and just put it in a plastic tote. Hamburger helper, 99 cents a box. You can go to Dollar General. You can go anywhere to get hamburger helper for cheap. Just grab a couple boxes, throw it in here. You get to a moment where the food chain shuts down, or trucks can't get to the stores. You're able, you know what? We got food. We're going to eat what we have right here stored up.
Yeah.
And listen, my grandson is the pickiest, but I promise you, he get hungry enough, he going to eat the stroganoff. Okay?
We eating bougie today, stroganoff.
But it's something that, to keep your family fed during times where there's no food. And I really believe we're coming upon times where food is going to be scarce. Food is already going up in prices. So,
well, where can you get? You said an oxygen server. Like where can you purchase the bags and the vacuum sealer and all of that?
Amazon, everybody's favorite place.
And
Amazon. Type it in right now, even as you're watching. I know you got your phone next to you. Type in oxygen. In fact, when you type in Mylar bags, the oxygen absorbers come with the Mylar bags.
Can you spell Mylar for us?
Yep, MYLAR. Mylar bags. And just look at this bag right here is like the potato chip bags. They use these to keep things fresh. A lot of companies that process food use these bags. So you can buy these bags 50 in a pack.
50 in a pack, y'all.
And everybody shops on Amazon. Just push that button. It'll come right to you. And and what you do and how you seal it. I know you take a flat iron with that heat, and it seals it right on up. You throw that oxygen absorber in there. What happens is the oxygen absorber takes all the oxygen out of here so that oxygen, because oxygen breaks down your food. Oxygen begins to start the process of molding and things like that. So it takes out the oxygen, you put it in here, and you seal it up, and then you're good.
Okay. You could say it's like the freeze dried food that the Army and stuff.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly what the Army does with that. With those types of prepared foods.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
You know when they come, I'm
okay. Okay. So then the third thing is basic essential items. Okay, and I'm not sure if you have the list up. Do you have the list up? Okay. And I'm just gonna go over a couple of basic essential items. And I know because it becomes overwhelming when you're looking like, okay, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy this. A lot of things that I began to purchase is just began to be one thing at a time. You know, one thing. You know what? I'm going to spend $20 this week. I was going to get this. I'm not. I'm going to get a hand cranked radio. And you say, what's the importance of a hand cranked radio? My friend, she lost power during the blizzard storm. Now, she was able to keep her phone charged because she went into her car and she charged it. But it would have been very helpful to have this radio because then she would have been able to tune in. And I know this looks so old-fashioned, like a radio. Who uses radios, right? But information is being transmitted on these radios. And you have batteries, but you crank it and it keeps the power.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you stay tuned sometimes using this radio. With this one, this is a little bit older, but the newer ones have a USB port, and you can charge up your phone using this.
Okay, so how often do you have to crank it all the time just for it to work?
You do. You have to crank it just to get it, not for it to work.
Oh, okay.
But for example, if your batteries run dead or you don't have any batteries, you'll do a little crank just to charge it up a little bit, and then it will work a little. You know, that's why I call it hand crank. So that way, you crank it. And you got power to the radio.
Oh, okay. I never heard that. Like, I never seen.
This is like, I know this is old school. And so this is hand crank radio communication. It's always good to have because when all else fails, you want to try to figure out when the breakdown of communication comes, where can I get some information? Right. So it's good to have. Okay. A headlamp, flashlight, for the breakdown of electricity. I do want to show, headlamps are so cheap, okay? I got this from Walmart for 99 cents. And the reason why you say headlamp is because when you want to say, for example, you don't have any electricity and you want to go through the house, you can go through the house hands-free. You'll have this on your head and then you'll be able to have, light. Power bank to charge your phone. It's important to have a first aid kit. Prescription medicine, personal hygiene items. I do want to touch on prescription medicine. When we had the blizzard, the pharmacies and stuff were shut down. People were unable to get their medications. I would encourage everyone to begin to try to stock up on your medications, and this is how you can do it. For example, refills. They allow you to refill your medication 15 days before. You know how this is 30-day supply? You can refill in 15 days instead of 30 days.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yep. And that way you can have extra medication on hand so that if something happens and you can't get to the pharmacy, you're not feeling, you're not feeling stressed about it. Toilet paper, cleaning supplies, blankets, extra warm blankets. We live in a very cold region. It's always good to have extra blankets on hand. When I was stocking up and my family was storing up, because my mom and my aunts and my cousins, we all prepare. We go to the Goodwill, and my mom, she'll be the one who goes. And she'll call us. I got a couple good blankets. And I'm like, good. Wash them up, send them on over. And we do. We have tons of blankets. And I know one of the things that me and my husband spoke about, that if we lost power, we'll begin to take the blankets and maybe put it up to the windows. That's a way to insulate and keep things warm. Cleaning supplies, bleach, a manual can opener. It's no good to have the food. you lost electricity. I mean, you don't, and cans of food, and you can't open them up. So it's good to have a manual can opener. I know these are old, older type things, but these are the things that you really need to have on hand, go back to, because it will help you survive.
Right.
Matches, and of course, duct tape.
So why we having duct tape?
Duct tape, well, it's 1,001 uses for duct tape. You can do any and everything with duct tape. I mean, when I think of duct tape, I'm thinking of maybe I can take my blankets, and if I got to put them up to that window, I'm going to take that duct tape, and I'm going to take that blanket up to that window. If something is going on with my pipe, I'm going to use that duct tape. We're going to take, any and everything, something strong to have to be able to, or if I got to close this door off, duct tape.
Okay.
Number 4 is how to stay warm. Now, we touched on blankets, but I kind of want to give alternative ways to be able to stay warm in case you lose electricity. And one of the things I have right here is a propane heater. This heater is called Mr. Buddy heater. And it is safe to use indoors.
Oh, okay.
It really is. It has a shut off, like an automatic shut off button, so that if it gets too hot, it does shut off. And it takes this propane tank.
Okay.
I use it a lot of times. I'm in my garage a lot, and when I'm working out there, it just will heat up the whole area. But we planned if we had lost electricity during the storm, we would have used this. And I hear a lot of people in the preparedness community using their Mr. Buddies in times of when their electricity shuts down and there's no heat. And I just encourage you. I got this. This was $79 at Walmart, but of course you can get it on Amazon. And then I'm talking to my budget friendly people. You can also get the Klarna Afterpay.
That works.
Okay. Listen, I know. You're looking like, okay, $80 is still a big chunk of money. I don't have $80 to really buy this that I may not use, but it's a good tool to have in case of an emergency.
Yeah, if don't nobody know what that is, Klarna and Afterpay is you pay a partial payment, and it breaks it down into 4 payments where you pay every 2 weeks.
It's like a new day layaway. Yes. Also, kerosene heater. I know there's a lot of pushback on kerosene heaters, but lately they made them safer. Nowadays, the newer kerosene heaters, they made them safer. But I put that on there because some people may be interested in getting it. But we don't have one, but I really, really, really would suggest this Mr. Buddy heater.
Okay.
I really would push this right here. And this right here, we only have one because if something happens, we're all getting in one area, one room. We're shutting it down, and that's the room we're going to be at to be warm. So just think about different ways to stay warm, because like in Buffalo, especially if you're in Buffalo, we got like 10 months of winter, 2 months of summer. So we definitely start thinking of ways to be warm. And we just left a situation, so a lot of us have experienced, being cold. So these are different ways to start thinking about what we can do in case something happens again and we're in that situation.
Well, would you suggest getting one of these for like your car? Because you know how some people were trapped in the car and they either ran out of gas or their battery had died to where they couldn't turn the car on to stay warm. So do you suggest keeping one of those in the car as well?
It can work in the car. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of people that live in campers or live in the vans. That's the new thing out, living in your car, living in your van. And a lot of the people that do that, they have this. Okay. They do have this.
So it'll work at home and in the car, y'all.
But and for the car, what I would also suggest is always keep a blanket in the trunk. I have like a little bin, right? So when wintertime comes, there's things that I take that bin and put it in the car, and it has blankets. It has there's a blanket the foil blanket that keeps your body temperature kind of warm. I would just suggest to keep those types of things in your car so that you can keep warm. Okay, because I can't see a lot of people getting this for their car, but I think more practical is to be able to have a blanket in your car or something like that. Okay. All right, so then we're just going to go right now to just 20 last minute ways to prepare. Okay, 20 last minute ways to prepare. First is just fill your gas tank up. Make sure your gas tank stays on full. That was one of the things that I probably didn't do. And it was a good thing that my husband was like, girl, fill that tank up. Because, I would have been stuck, So I encourage you, if you can, and I understand there are challenges with financials, but fill your gas tank up, because I think a lot of the issues, people run out of gas. Okay. Have a 72-hour kit for every person in your family. What that is a bag, and I call it a to-go bag. It's a book bag filled with items that you can grab and go. Just in case of a fire, in case you had to abandon your home for any type of emergencies, you have a change of clothes, you have some personal items in your bag for you and each person in your family that you can take with you, leave out your home, and those items will kind of get you through the next 72 hours, okay? Snacks, personal hygiene items, things like that. You should have cash on hand just in case the ATMs don't work. Number 4 is turn your fridge and freezer to a colder setting in case you lose power. A lot of people lost power. In order to keep those items cold, turn it up to, okay, they say turn it up cold. This is before you lose power, so that your refrigerator is colder. So when you lose power, you can your refrigerator is cold and you can maintain that coldness. Okay. Number 5 is, if you have extra space in your freezer, take containers or Ziploc bags full of water and fill in the extra space. For example, your freezer, you lose power and everything is gone. Take some Ziploc bags, put water in it, put it in the freezer. It'll freeze up because the freezer is still cold. And what that does is it keeps everything else in your freezer cold. So that colder longer. You understand? So that your stuff doesn't defrost. Number 6, charge all your electronic devices and keep them charged just in case you lose power. Keep a list of emergency numbers handy of all of your family members. And with the time that we have, all of our phone numbers are on our phones. Right? I remember it was a time where I knew everybody's phone numbers. I don't anymore.
Yeah.
We're so dependent on that phone. But it's always good to keep those numbers handy, so that you can have a list of those numbers that you need in case of an emergency. Have an emergency escape plan from your home. This is something that I've been working on with my grandson. We have family members that live close by, and I'm always going over with him. If something happens, how do you get there? Which way do you go? Where do you go first? So it's always good to have an emergency backup plan. I'm not going to go through all of these. You have the list up, right, Adrian? I think I just want to get down to number 20. It's just have an emergency binder with all of your paperwork in it ready to go. Okay, so that if something happens and you need to abandon your home, you are not running out, or you ran out and you forgot our birth certificates, or you don't know where your insurance papers are. So it's all important. It's very important to gather all of your all your good paperwork and put it in a binder. And close to the door, so that when you need to go or you need to abandon your home, you have that stuff ready next to you. And at the end of the day, it's just good to have a plan. It's good to create a plan on how you're going to be better prepared for the next disaster. Yeah. And really, it's just time to take action. We've gone through so much in these past 12 months within our city. And I just think it's time that everyone just wake up and just start thinking of what you can do to prepare yourself so that you can handle better the next situation.
Yeah, this is good information that we need to take heed to. And this is why we're here, you guys, so we can always be ready for the next movement and not just go back to everyday life. So thank you, Diana, for your time and your preparedness in getting this information for us. So, you know, if you come up with more information, please let us know and we'll put it out to y'all as always. So thank you again. We appreciate you. And that's it, y'all. We'll see you on the next one. So, Diana, can you please let us know, like, if somebody else wants to have this as well? What's your information? How can they contact you and whatnot?
Okay. I'm going to give you, I think, my Facebook handle. Okay, my Facebook handle is Diana Jameson. I'm Diana Jameson. I think Facebook.com. You can inbox me, give me, ask me questions. I'm going to begin to put out little articles and little videos on how to. So if you could just follow me or become my friend, I will accept you, and you'll be able to just be able to get some more information. Or if you have questions, just inbox me.
Okay. So, Diana.
Yes.
We know you have a business as well. No, so we know I'm excited about your business as well because you do personalized items and I've seen you do everything under the sun. So tell us a little bit about that as well.
The name of my business is Create by Diana, and I have a personalized, customized business that customize gifts, t-shirts, all types of items. I'm so excited about it, and I'm going to be branching into teaching on how to do those things. I'm not trying to hold that information close to me. I'm really, really, really passionate about everybody has a little creativeness within them. So I want to be able to just teach you how you can do that, how you can make that. So yes, you can find me on Create by Diana. That's on Facebook. And my website is also createbydiana.shop. Come check me out. There's some items you may like and you may need to be customized for your next event, occasion. Please contact me and I'll be so happy to be able to customize that for you.
Wait, you're not going to give them your TikTok? Because they could actually see you making your items on some of your videos.
Yep. I don't know it's sad to say I don't know the TikTok handle name. I don't Create by Diana TikTok. That's what it is. But I always take my TikToks and I'll always transfer right over to Facebook or Instagram. And it's always Create by Diana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again. We appreciate you and your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So until next time, y'all, we're out of here. Bye.